Oh, my, I didn't see you there. But please, come on in, take a seat, and welcome to another Blomquist book review with your boy, Mikey Blomquist. Let's get into it. Okay, so the book you saw me reading, and what I'll also be reviewing today, is called A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen. It's a great play. I just finished reading. So a little background on Henrik Ibsen, the playwright. So what I like to think, if Shakespeare is like the Michael Jordan of playwriting, like the greatest of all time, then Henrik Ibsen could sort of be like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or like a Magic Johnson. Like he can sort of, like, you put him up there when you talk about the best, but he's never really going to contend that number one spot. And so Henrik Ibsen, he was also referred to as the father of realism, which I think is a pretty interesting nickname. So a basic summary of what happens in the play. There's this lady named Nora, and she illegally takes out a loan to pay for her husband's illness. And then so the person that she illegally takes the loan out from threatens to, so the person she illegally takes the loan out from gets fired by Nora's husband. And then so he's like, oh no, I'm gonna blackmail you because you illegally acquired this loan to pay for your husband's illness. And so if he doesn't give me my job back, I'm gonna like blackmail you guys and like make you guys go to jail or like be in great debt or something. And then so the husband sees this blackmail and he like goes absolutely insane on his wife. Like, how could you do this? How could you illegally take out this loan? And she's like, oh, I just cared about you so much. I didn't care if we went in debt or anything. And the husband's like, no, we can never go in debt. That's unacceptable. But then so they get another letter right after that from the same guy, and it's like, oh, I'm not blackmailing you anymore. Because what happened was Nora's friend got back together with this guy who was blackmailing them, and that like him being in love like made his heart good, and he didn't want to blackmail them anymore. So then Torvald is like the husband who was getting blackmailed is like extremely relieved, but the wife is like so mad about the response that he had, like going off on her, that she decides to just divorce him anyway. And she like discovers that this husband like never really cared about her, and so she's glad that she got to see his true colors, but she ends up divorcing him, and that's how the play ends. It sort of goes full circle. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So then, like, what the deeper meaning of was behind this play, or at least what I thought it was, like, so Ibsen is the father of realism, which means he's very into, like, focusing on the individual and what the individual, like, wants and needs and what they think is right and stuff like that. And so Nora is this character who's, like, been pushed into like this like societal view of what a happy relationship should be, like the husband making the money and the wife spending the money. Like, it doesn't really matter if the couple's happy or not, as long as like the family is functioning. It doesn't really matter like what the actual relationship is, if there's like love or not. But then so by the end of the play, when Nora discovers that like her husband was always sort of about the money, and that she doesn't really feel a connection to this guy besides like being in a family and like sharing money, she realizes that this isn't what she actually wants, and she listens to what the individual inside her, what her soul like wants, and so she ends up leaving him. And so it brings up a lot of questions for the reader, like, how do you value other individuals, and like how do you value yourself? And if you're going to try to like affect other people, how do you like make sure you have like a positive influence on them? And how do you make sure other people have a positive influence on you? And so it raises a lot of questions like that. So that's basically all I got for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.